this size, maybe they were bigger than this room. And you know how you can open this up, and then there's another one of these rooms right here. If you open that up, there's another one of those rooms. So that that's what they did. They opened up everything, and they put the entire Galactica on one set.
You could walk through the ship.
Yeah, when you walk through the ship, you'd get lost. Literally
lost.
When we hit another stage, once the series started, they split us. They split the two capsules. They split the whole ship apart. So you couldn't do that anymore. The first scene that you ever saw when Starbuck is running through the ship, and she's running and seeing everybody, and it's about an 8-minute segment at the very beginning, and she hits everybody. You see everyone. You see me, and you see Ty sitting there drunk against the wall. And, you know, she sees all the different people, and but that set was the most magnificent set I've ever been on, because you were in it, and boy, the detail you talked about, you know, the devil being in the detail, boy, oh boy, this guy, Richard, did an extraordinary job of set production. You know, production designer was just amazing. And that to me was the key to the whole, the belief that we were really aboard the ship. Because when the camera started to roll, it really became a reality. And then everybody was documenting that reality. And it really helped the show immensely. So for me, I have to say that the feeling on board when you walked in there, but you couldn't find your way out. Once you were once you were in CSC, you could not find your way out.
I can't tell you how many times I've walked into dead ends, or like, ooh, oh no, wrong room. Oh, a bed. To the map.
So our time's nearly up. Should we blab through some questions real fast?
Oh.
Alright, this one's for Mr. Olmos. I read this on the internet, and it may be no truth to it. My wife's always telling me not to believe what I read on the internet. But someone said that you were actually approached to be the captain of another starship once, and you turned the role down. So if that's true, what made you pass on that and say yes to this?
Yeah, I was asked to do Star Trek after they'd killed Kirk. And, you know, I was right in the middle of doing a major piece of work, the first one of its kind on television, which was American Family. And it was a piece of work that was broadcast television. It was the first time broadcast television had put a Latino family on the air, ever. And so I went to pilot that one. And there was a great, you know, respect that they had for me to offer me that. But I turned it down. And people thought I was really gone. They said, you had just thrown away billions of dollars and your career. You know, you could have been somebody. And I just said, listen, I mean, you know, this little show on PBS is not Star Trek, but you know what? I mean, they have, Star Trek is already set. They don't need any help. So I went to the other show and I turned it down. And then when they gave me this, I was at the Latino Book and Family Festival that I put on every year, and I have for the last 17 years. And so I was at the festival, and they sent me the script for the pilot, and you know, Battlestar Galactica. Hello, you know. I did Blade Runner. I don't need to do any more science fiction. It's enough. That was my crowning jewel. I'm not going to go higher than that. This is it. I didn't want to read it. And then my family read it, and they said, you should read this. I said, oh, Jesus, you're my agents. So I did. I read it, and I read the first 3 pages of this, like, preamble that I don't think you read, but you might have read it, I'm not sure. It was 3 pages that Ron Moore wrote about what the show was about.
Oh,
and how
the little Bible in the
beginning. I read that and I just said, holy shit, this is extraordinary. The guy was a stone serious writer, and I didn't know Ron that way, and didn't know of him. I didn't know he was the guy who killed Kirk, you know, and had written like a lot of episodes of Star Trek and done a lot of work writing. So I just said, read it. And so I read that first 3 pages, and it just completely turned me around. And then I just opened the first page, and man, from the very opening, from that scene when, you know, the girl's walking, the 6 is walking down the hallway, and she goes up to the guy and she kisses him, and the place explodes, and we cut back to, and the way he described how the show was going to be shot. And so I just read the whole thing in one sitting, and I said, I'm in. I'm totally in. So it was really simple to understand why I did Battlestar Galactica. And the crowning jewel of the whole thing, had I done Star Trek, they would never ask me to do Battlestar. I would have lost Battlestar. There would have been another Adama.
I think we have time for one more question.
Thank you. This is for Ms. McClure. September 10th is World Suicide Prevention Day, and I hate to end on a downer, so instead, I will thank you for making suicide a conversation point with your portrayal, and ask if you still want to talk about it. If you would, otherwise, I'm happy to go to the next question.
Do I still want to talk about suicide? I'll keep it brief. Thank you. I didn't know that, and yeah, it is. I take it on to be sort of a spokesperson for something that is uncomfortable for a lot of people and brings up a lot of feelings. But I think it was beautifully handled in the show, and I'm happy to talk about it. But I do want this gentleman to ask his question because he was in the back of the line.
It's kind of bad. I don't think I have a question. It's mostly, I mean, everyone in this room appreciates the genius of Ron Moore and Peter McCrary and everyone who made that show amazing. It was an ensemble cast. But the reason I got up, because I went to bed at 6 a.m. last night, the reason I got up was now just to say, Edward James Olmos, you breathe a life into that character, and just that story about how you brought music into that show it's just a beautiful story, and you could see it in your action. I mean, the minute that I saw you in that standoff with Pegasus episode, talking to Admiral Kane about...
I wish I could understand you.
Yeah, we do have to keep it really
Slow down.
Yeah, talk real close, put it right close to you.
I had no sleep last night. I think you're a brilliant actor, and you made that show incredible. I mean, everyone made that show incredible, but you did. Like, you just breathed life into Admiral Adama in a way that just made brought that world to life, and it was really amazing to see.
Bless your heart. I just know one thing. I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it today. Only you can prevent forest fires. So say we all. So say we all. So say we all. So say we all.